Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another manga review. And once again we're going to be taking a look at Fairy Tail with Volume 8 from Hiro Mashima, which sees the continuation of the Phantom Lord arc. And that started at the end of Volume 6 where you have Master Jose, the leader of Phantom Lord, launching an all-out assault so that they could capture Lucy Heartfilia. Because, well, we learned that Lucy is a member of the wealthy Heartfilia family estate, and her father is the richest man in all of Fiore. So Jose thinks that if he has her held hostage, he'll receive a nice ransom in exchange for his daughter. And also, Lucy's father can have his daughter back because we also learned that she's a runaway, and she left the wealthy estate so that she could live her own life and join Fairy Tail and have a family that actually cares for her. So in the midst of all the battles, Master Makarov was actually taken out right away by one of the members of the Element 4, Arya, who sucked all of his magical power dry and rendered him useless, so they had to take him to this new character that we met, the healing mage, Poorly Yusuka, deep in the forest of Magnolia. So the Master of Fairy Tail is out of commission. Meanwhile, Master Jose led one of his other guilds. We actually learned that Phantom Lord has 50 different guild halls, and one of them was sent there with this Jupiter cannon to fire straight away at Fairy Tail, and Urza stepped in with her adamantine armor blocking the blast, but also sucking her dry of all her magic power, putting her out of commission. So, the Master Makarov, and Urza are both out of commission. Mirajane tried to contact the Loxus to get his help, but he said, "Screw you guys, not my problem," and so one of the other powerful wizards decides not to show up. They said they couldn't find Mystigan, and they mentioned Gildarts is out on another quest, so he's nowhere to be seen as well. So, Natsu, Gray, and actually Elfman enter Phantom Lord to strike back, and we learned more about Elfman's backstory and why he can only use one beast arm takeover, not a full body takeover, and that's because he actually had another sister, a younger sister. Mirajane's his older sister, and he had a younger sister, Lysana, who when he transformed into the full body takeover, he actually accidentally killed her. So we learned a tragic backstory about Elfman's past, and I really like how they took a background character like Elfman and gave him a deeper meaning, and you learn sort of why he compensates for being a real man and all that. So let's just jump right into this. We ended on a cliffhanger with Natsu ready to face Arya, and Gray ready to face Juvia, with Volume 7 ending. So let's jump right into it. And here you have Juvia, who appears that she sort of has a crush on Gray as well, which is kind of funny. So she's overpowering him with boiling water because he's ice, and fire beats ice, so boiling water beats ice as well. And they're ready to attack, and this is great, man. So Juvia can sort of turn into water herself, and she turns back into her human form, and Gray has his hand on her breast right there. No, I didn't mean to. And look at Juvia. Juvia feels embarrassment. Juvia wants to stay this way. Stay right here within your ice. I'm sorry. He released me from his ice. He's simply too kind. Let's start over. So Juvia says she can't cause any more harm. And they have a little talk right now. And he's like, "Oh, this rain is so freaking depressing." And she sort of snaps there. "This man is the same as all the rest. You're just the same, aren't you?" So again, sort of going off the theme of last time and really with Gray's backstory, we get another flashback to young Juvia and how she couldn't control her rain. And everyone always picked on her. Wherever she went, it was always raining. And they're picking on her like, "Oh, Juvia is so depressing. She's going on a date with this guy." I think doesn't that guy look like Bora from the very first volume? And he's complaining that he can't go on a date with her because it's always raining. And she's all pissed off. "No, I can't do this." And he starts fighting back. And he's so powerful compared to her that he turns her rain into ice. And he does the ice geyser and defeats her. And she's lying down. And she says, "Could I have lost? Well, has that cooled off your temper a little bit?" And then the rain is going away. And he says, "It's finally cleared up. Is this what they call a blue sky? It's beautiful." "Well, you want to go another round?" And look at her. "Ooh, Juvie! 3 minutes until Abyss Break is complete. Only one member of the Element 4 remaining." So yeah, this giant cannon is powered by the Element 4. And they've taken out 3 of the members. Arya is the only one left. And Juvia appears to be not as bad as we initially thought. She's got a little liking to Gray, huh? So they got this giant mech beast is ready to attack the mech guild, and everyone's pretty weak here. You know, Khan is leading the ground troops down there as Elfman and Mirror Jane were there fighting. Gray was fighting. They're all making their way back. And they're like, oh, where's Natsu? Natsu's still fighting Arya. So, Natsu's all fired up. And he's going against this dude who uses wind magic, air magic, and pretty powerful. I mean, he was able to knock out the Master and suck all of his magical energy. But then, out of nowhere, Urza shows up. What the hell? I mean, I thought Urza was, like, dead. Or on the brink of death. But she shows up. And you see she's all battered and bruised, all bloody. Half her armor's not even on. And she's ready to attack this dude. And he actually takes his blindfold off, ready for full power, I guess. And he's going to cast the Quickie of Death Zero. This air will suck up all life. And then Urza says, magic that sucks life, you say? What makes it so easy for you cretins to steal people's lives? She's fired up. Look at Natsu, too. He's getting, like, attacked over there. Holy crap. So he's ready to attack, but Urza requips into her Heaven's Wheel armor and uses the Wheel of Heaven's Scattered Petals and defeats him. The Master should have never been taken down by an amateur like you. Go and erase your name from the annals of heroes now. So they've defeated this mech thing after vanquishing all of the Element 4, and all the heroes are celebrating, and Jose's like, I don't believe it. Are you telling me the Element 4 was wiped out by this fairy tale trash? And Gajiel here has the real Lucy, who he got from Redis. You know, they sent Redis on his way to protect her, but it wasn't enough. And he starts beating the shit out of her. Like, holy crap, man. How can you beat up a girl like that? Especially one like Lucy. And he starts kicking her. She's bleeding out of her mouth, coughing up blood. It's terrible. So it cuts over here to Loki. Because, you know, we know Redis isn't really too powerful. He can use the picture magic. But he has no strength. And Loki arrives on the scene wondering where Lucy is. And he mentions that he couldn't protect her. And we also learned a while back that Loki didn't really like celestial wizards. He had a run-in with them in the past. And he says, I had a feeling something like this would happen. I knew it would happen, but I was so afraid to be anywhere near you. I'm pitiful, damn it. So Jose says that, you know, we've captured Lucy. Our goals are complete. And we're going to kill all of you upstarts. So he's ready to go out there and basically summons all these phantom ghouls to attack. And Urza's pleading, go Natsu, take him out. You can even surpass my power. You can do this. And it cuts over to poor Lyusica with Makarov waking up. And Elfman, along with Mirror Jane and Gray, make their way here to see Urza all battered and bruised. And Jose makes his way here. Honestly, I never thought you would give me this much fun. And he shows up, ready to take on the rest of the gang here. And Elfman, with his newfound strength, is like a real man, is ready to protect his sister. But Jose is a wizard saint, so he surpasses all of them combined. There's no way you can defeat him. Really, the only way you can stop him is if Makarov was there. But Urza, not willing to give up quite yet, puts on a new armor. I think this is her Fire Empress armor. And he says, you know, you're worthy of the name of the tongue. If only you were at full power, this would be fun. And then again, Lucy all tied up. Gajiel's throwing these spears at her. Like, this guy's a complete asshole. Why is he doing this? You know, this is their... If he kills her, they're not going to get any money. Isn't it the whole point to have her hostage so that her father can give him money or whatever? So Lucy's taunting him like, you know, you're no match for Natsu. And he shows up. And of course, Natsu shows up right from the floor, ready to... Look at that shot right there. That's awesome. He's all fired up. You got a fire in my belly. And ready to protect his girl, Lucy. And so they have a great battle here with Happy cheering everyone on as he frees Lucy. And, of course, Gajiel has, like, the Iron Dragon roar, and he also does Iron Dragon Club. And they're going back and forth here. And, you know, I would imagine that fire can just melt iron, but they're pretty evenly matched. And he's actually able to do like this more of a dragon takeover where he grows like these iron scales. So he's mastered more of his magic abilities as opposed to Natsu. And of course it wouldn't be a Mashiva manga if it had stuff like this. The wind coming there and Lucy's skirt blowing up and everyone perfect. Oh! So. And, you know, both getting ready to do their roars. You see how they're sucking up enough power? Iron Dragon and Fire Dragon roar, and they both intersect at the same time, and it's really no match. They're both evenly matched, but the iron that's in his roar actually makes a little bit of debris that goes into Natsu's arms and his leg there. So it does appear that Gajiel had the upper hand, but Natsu's still fired up. And Gajiel says, the sky's not big enough for 2 dragons, only 1 dragon here. So the guild's getting completely overwhelmed here as Jose sends his phantoms there. And again, look at the shot of Lucy. And, whoa, I see someone's panties. I love it, man. I know some people don't really like those scenes, but to me, they're fun. How can you not laugh at that? So now they're headbutting each other, just all out, going all out here. Natsu's bleeding all over the place. And what happens, they're both draining their magic power. And for Natsu to regain his magic power, he needs to eat fire. So naturally, Gajiel, to regain his magic power, he eats iron. So he starts eating the building. So his power's all recharged, and Natsu has nothing left. So he's getting his ass beat now. And Lucy's like, no, what do we do? So she thinks, I got this new celestial key from Galuna Island, so let's summon him and see what it's all about. And it's Sagittarius, the centaur. And remember when they're all predicting what it was going to be? Like, she envisioned an actual centaur from mythology, and Gray envisioned a character like this, and then whatever the hell Natsu envisioned. But it's actually a man dressed in a horse costume, and he wields a bow and arrow. So she says, can you use any kind of firepower so you can regenerate Natsu? And he's like, well, my lady, not really. I just use arrows. So he's just sitting on the sidelines as the two of them continue to go at each other, with Gajiel taking the upper hand. And right here, Gajiel taunts him even more. Look at what you were trying to protect. And it's the whole Fairy Tail Guild Hall just destroyed, man. Completely destroyed. And Natsu's crying, Lucy's crying, Happy's crying, and Gajiel bleeding is laughing. Great drawing here. And Natsu, just seeing his guild in shambles here, has a flashback to when he first joined. With young Natsu, young Makarov, a young Gray with no clothes on, Kana saying, where are your clothes? And look how cute Urza, oh my god, this is so good. Look how cute Urza, look at Loxus still. And a young Fairy Tail and all the memories he had. Look, there's young Wakaba and Macau. And then it's cutting to Kana in the present crying. And Natsu, remembering all his memories from the guild, has enough strength to stand up and at least try. But it's not enough because Gajiel keeps kicking him and knocking him down. And Happy here says, he destroyed Jupiter, he took out your element 4, he's used up all his magic, if only he could eat some fire, Natsu would never lose. And then Sagittarius, listening, says, now I see. It seems we've had a bit of miscommunication between us. Mushi Mushi, that's like his little catchphrase at the end. You, Miss Lucy, asked if I had any fire attacks, and I replied that I did not. However, the important point wasn't that I produced fire, but that fire could be produced, yes? So he fires this shot here at, a fire in the distance, and it causes a big explosion to which Natsu can suck up the fire and regain his abilities. So look at that. Great thinking there. Look at how he's eating the fire, too. Gotta love Natsu. And he's got enough strength, and he remembers what he did to Levy, Jet, Droid, the old man, Lucy, all his friends, and all of Fairy Tail. How many people do you get to hurt before you guys are satisfied? This is impossible. I can't lose. You've done a whole lot. I'm going to pay you back for it right now. You made the biggest mistake when you decided to tangle a Fairy Tail. I am the strongest. Fire Dragon! Fire Dragon Fist! And he defeats Gajiel with a final blow with all the power he was able to suck up. Again, look how cute Urza is. Young Urza, Gray, and Natsu. I love that. I hope we see more scenes of them as younger kids and flashback scenes. So, Natsu has Happy send Lucy away. And, that's just it. Look at Happy. Aye, sir, we did it. But still, they have to deal with Jose. And going up against a weakened Urza, really not much. When all of a sudden, she just keeps getting her ass kicked. And then he mentions, you may destroy this one guild, but we have 50 other guilds, there's no match for you. And then he says, they have the strong wizards of Loxus, Urza, Mystigan, and Guild Arts. and even that salamander. And then this is why he wanted to defeat Fairy Tail, because they have all these strong S-class wizards, and they've been gaining in stature where he's been dwindling. And he's ready to finish the final blow here. And Urza is just recounting her tales of her, her beginnings of her friendship with Lucy, and of course her friendship with Natsu and Gray. And is like, no, how dare you? You've never seen Lucy's tears. You don't know how we all feel. But he zaps Urza right there. And then all of a sudden, Makarov is back. So we saw he had just been healed by poor Lyusica, and it was much faster than we initially thought. And he's back. You're out to cause a natural disaster? If it's for the sake of my family, then yes! So then over here, poor Lyusica is like, how did we get his magic power back so fast? And it shows Mystigan, who apparently was hiding. If you remember Mystigan, we saw him when he accepted an S-class quest, and he put everyone to sleep except Makarov because he doesn't want everyone to know his identity. You see he's all covered up there. And he was able to collect all of Makarov's power. He collected it back really fast. And how they've alluded a few times how there's over 50 other guilds to Phantom Lord. Poor Lyusica says, why don't you go out there and help your comrades? And then he shows the 50 flags from all the other guilds and how he defeated them all single-handedly. So that just shows you how powerful Mystigan really is. And despite the fact we didn't see him, he was doing things off-screen, and he got the Master all rejuvenated again. And the fact that we saw poor Lyusica doesn't like human interaction, neither does Mystigan. The two of them go hand in hand, huh? So Makarov's ready for a final showdown. He says to Urza, you did enough. Stand down, leave the rest to me. And of course it cuts over to Gray and Elfman, who did what they could too, but they're all battered and bruised. Take pride in the fact that you are Fairy Tail. You did well, my children. And then he shoots a blast right through Jose's shoulder there. As he continues to laugh, and they're just going back and forth. Jose uses Dead Wave. And then over here to Natsu talking to Gagio. Or, sorry, he's just talking to himself. Only the old man can do magic like that. Impressive. And Makarov does this really big form here, where he's giving Jose his last rites, and he's putting his hands together, counting down. He says, 1, 2, 3. I'm through waiting. Fairy law is invoked. And just look at this great spell that he's about to cast, as we're going to find out in the next issue what it does. To be continued. So, overall, another great issue. I'll get to this at the end, but we'll talk about the little recap here. I mean, this is just fantastic. I mean, just the fights, the emotions, everything. I mean, Gagio just being brutal to Lucy. All the blood and everything. Jose, definitely a very intimidating villain so far. Most intimidating one yet. Natsu gathering the strength, how they were sort of intuitive in firing the arrow to hit the blast to cause the fire explosion so Natsu can regain his power. And also seeing Mystigan enter the fold and save his comrades. So I really enjoyed it. Here's a little Q&A that they do in the back of these volumes between Mira and Lucy. And they're talking about, like, everyone has their guild emblems. Lucy has it on her hand, Mira has it on her leg, Natsu has it on his shoulder. And they're talking about, like, where Loki has it. And you see it's blurred out there, right? And they go around, they're like, oh, that's crazy. Look at their faces. But they actually mean that it's on his back. I don't know why they did it like that. But, funny enough. And then they're talking about the lacrimas and what that means, basically this communication device. And the map of Fiore, more fan art. And also, Mashima mentions the fact that there's always going to be an idea of another Dragon Slayer and a battle between Dragon Slayers. And then he mentions that there are even more Dragon Slayers out there. They'll appear over the course of the story. And Igniel passed the technique on for slaying dragons and then disappeared. A weird story, but I have my reasons for it. And those reasons may become key information later on. So yeah, I can't recommend the series enough. I really enjoy it. And hope you guys stay tuned for my review of Volume 9 as we see the resolution to the Phantom Lord arc. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.